Yo, RX back with another recap of UFC Vegas 102 Cannonier versus Rodrigues. We back with another recap of a card that was fine. I thought this card was perfectly fine. The prelims were good, really couldn't find many problems there. The main card had a few highlights. I thought the card was fine. I think that, yes, that's as simple as I can answer that question. Yeah, it was a chill night in the Apex. Nothing insane happened. No knockout of the year contender, no fight of the year contender. No giant upset, etc., etc. It was just two people going in that cage and fighting. Had a few nice finishes, had some decisions, and that's pretty much a story of the fight, of the night, of the fight night. It was fine. Like I said, it was nothing amazing, it was nothing terrible. I don't know how you could watch this card and leave it thinking that was terrible. But you're not gonna leave it thinking that was some card of the year. You'll leave it thinking it was perfectly fine. So, that's how I view it. And that's how I'm going to continue viewing it as we get into this recap of it. So, maybe my opinion will change, but it usually doesn't. So, UFC Vegas 102, in my opinion, perfectly fine. That's before we recap it. After we recap it, well, no, maybe I'll say something different, but I usually do. So, let's see though, maybe I will change my tune, but I don't know why I would. I don't think I'm gonna find anything new about this card during the recap though. Yeah. Not really much else to say there. Card was fine. Now, to get into the recap, not really much more to say before we do. The only thing I can think left to say before I recap this card is please like, comment, and subscribe. 100 subs goal by the end of 2025. And as always, unless I'm forgetting to say something, which I don't believe I am, you ready to recap some fights in the Apex on this fine Saturday night going into Sunday? I know I am. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to say. I talked about the card being fine. I don't want to spoil any other fight. Yeah, I'm ready. UFC Vegas 102 recap. You ready? I know I am. Let's recap some fights from the Apex. Let's go. Before I do that, let's knock out an elephant in the room. There were only 12 fights on this card. I know I broke down 13. That is because we did lose a fight on weigh-in day with Gordon versus Ruziboyev. No shocker, Ruziboyev had weight cut issues coming back. His first fight in 2 years on 4 days notice. That's gonna happen, so sucks to lose that fight. Hopefully they find Jared Gordon a new fight for hopefully a card within the next month or so. And we'll get to see him finally get in there and fight, because now he's 0-for-2 on fights in 2025. Let's see the Flash fight already. Besides that, don't worry, I got anything else to say. Still got 12 fights in the Apex. Delgado got moved down to the prelims, so So FYI there for the new little card order, thanks to Gordon getting moved down. Or not getting moved down, getting moved off the card. And outside of that, let's finally recap these fights. And we begin in the women's bantamweight division with a fight that could not win anymore, as everyone predicted. As in our first fight of the night in the women's bantamweight division, we began the night with Jacqueline Cavalcanti versus Julia Avila. Well, this fight went exactly as we all predicted to a T. Not like it was going to go any other way, because we knew how these two fought, and I think this fight goes exactly like this 10 out of 10 times if they fight. Long story short, just like every Jacqueline Cavalcanti fight, and just like everyone predicted, for 15 minutes, Jacqueline Cavalcanti just stayed at range and beat Julia pretty easily. Not much resistance. Julia could not really get on the inside. Jacqueline didn't have to do anything besides just fight on the outside. There was really no ground fighting. I think one takedown from Julia Avila late in the second. Did not do really anything with it though. And overall, as you can see, it was just a clear Jacqueline Cavalcanti W. So it went exactly as we all predicted to. Me and everyone else. Like, this fight was not very hard to read. Cavalcanti, 99% chance was going to be able to stay at range, pick Julia apart, and win. That's what she did. Julia could not get on the inside. Julia could not really land a big shot to hurt Jacqueline. She did not have the ground game to keep her down and beat her there. She just couldn't really do a lot, so for 15 minutes she just had a fight in Jacqueline's range and she couldn't do a lot. She had her face busted up really badly, and it was just not a good night for Julia Avila. So, but it's a very expected night. Again, the biggest favorite on the card, for fuck's sake, with Jacqueline Cavalcanti. And the fight went exactly as it was planned to. So, again, if they fight 10 times, I think it probably goes like this 10 times. And, like, I'd be shocked if it went any other way in 2025, of course. So, it's a simple fight. So, Jacqueline's going to just stay at range, use her big reach advantage, and win. Why do anything else besides what works? Simple as that. Not really much to say about the fight. Not really much else you can say about a fight that was predictable. I pretty much already talked about this fight in my... I already talked about the fight this fight and how it went in my breakdown. Because, again, I think we all knew it was gonna go one way. So, there was a tiny chance it went a different way. But, we knew. So, pretty easy, man. Pretty fucking easy. So, not really much else I need to say or add about the fight here. So, let's not waste any more time. But let's get into the fighters now, because I can't have much more to add to a very predictable fight. Very predictable. 5%. What the fuck? So let's talk about the fighters. And we'll start with Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Cavalcanti 4-0 now. She's good. She has talent. But she definitely has a big problem in her game, and it's not throwing enough. Kind of a running theme with this card, it seemed. Like, she just does not throw enough. She throws enough to win, but she's never gonna get a finish, it seems like, because she doesn't throw enough. And she has the power. We saw that against Nora Canole. She has good power in her hands, but she just doesn't really throw. And she has good cardio, she has a ground game, she has good striking, she just doesn't throw enough. So I'd be amazed if she ever got a finish. Like maybe in a 5-rounder, but even then, who knows? So I think Cavalcanti's very good. I still look at her as a rare bright spot at women's bantamweight, but she just does not throw enough. I think Clint from Die Hard MMA made a perfect comparison. It's very Strickland-esque. Like, what is Strickland's biggest problem? He doesn't throw enough. What is Jacqueline's biggest problem? She doesn't throw enough, and she has a really good defense. So, I really like that comparison. I think it's almost on the nose. So, you know, that's not a bad comparison to be compared to a former champion, but excitement-wise, it kind of sucks. So, like, I get why change up your game and take more punches, but you don't have to take more punches. You have good striking. You can keep people at range very easily. Just fucking throw more. You don't need to eat punches to throw more. So, I don't know. I think Cavalcanti's good, but I still think her problem is she doesn't throw enough. So, if she fixes that up in the future, she could be scary. But right now, she seems to just be a decision merchant, which is a fine 4-0 now in the UFC against okay competition. Can't complain about that, but it would be nice to see a little more volume and firepower from someone. Like, even the commentators were cracking on her. Like, she was winning easily, and you would have thought she was losing of how they were talking about her. So you need to look better as a -700 favorite against a 36-year-old off a 2-year layoff. You gotta throw more volume. So hopefully she takes this as constructive criticism and not insults, because they're not meant to be insults. They're meant to make her a better fighter. Now to flip over and talk about her opponent, Julia Avila. Another L. And, well, she made the right call. Julia did retire after the fight, and it's the right call for her at this point, it seems. At 36 years old, she's not going to make a run. She might have got cut anyway. She's a shell of herself, even of her 2020 self. Like, she's slower. She's super fucking. She's held up by duct tape, kind of the same things you can say about Tatiana Suarez, because another fighter who's just been ravaged by injuries. Avila lost her career pretty much to the injuries, and every fighter you see come back from all these injuries, it kind of makes you think, well, Zabit kind of did the right thing if you think about it. So, because he was going to come back and be a shell of himself, more than likely. And no one wanted to see that. And now we've seen 2 females in the past week who've been ravaged by injuries, like fight and just look like shells of themselves. So Zabit made the right call, and I think Julia made the right call here, finally just retiring. It sucks that her career went the way it did. No, I don't think she was going to be some great fighter, but I do think she could have been a decent, like, fucking fun fighter. She could have had some fun fights. She had the power, she had the striking, but could not stay active, could not fight often. And ends her UFC career 3-3, 9-4 overall at 36 years old. So sucks. Injuries fucking suck, but what can you really do? So it sucks, man. It truly does, but I think this is the right move for Julia, so can't really say much else there. I think it's the right move, and the only thing really to say is enjoy retirement, Julia. Thank you for the few fights you did give us, and enjoy retirement, enjoy your family. Saw her kid came into the cage post-fight, that's cool, so enjoy it. Enjoy retirement. No more injuries or nothing like that. You get to relax. Good for you. See you around. Enjoy retirement. Now, the only thing I have to say after that, finally, after 16 minutes somehow, I did not feel like I talked about them for that long. Who should they fight next? For Jacqueline, well, who should Jacqueline fight next since she's not retired? For Jacqueline Cavalcanti, I can't believe we're starting off tonight looking at the rankings, but that's the first fight of the night, a ranked fight. She has beat number 12, so she's going to move up one spot, and now that leaves her with kind of an open book of options, because no one's booked, I don't believe. So, who could she fight? Let's see. I'd say anyone from these four. Because you're not going to fight Eileen. Anyone for this high, I think, is kind of pushing it. So, any one of these four. Just who would make the most sense? I would say either Hossa or Mayra Bueno Silva, because I think Tate and Yana should probably fight. And I'm leaning Carol Hossa, because who knows what the UFC does with Mayra. I think Carol and Cavalcanti is a pretty good fight. I think that'd be a very intriguing fight. A real big step up for Jacqueline, and I think that would be really intriguing. I'd really like to see that fight, and a win there. Beat Carol Hossa, and you jump into this category of women's 135, in my opinion. So I like that idea. I like that idea. Her and Carol Hossa. Hossa does not have a fight booked right now since she did lose to Eileen Perez about a month ago. So I like it. Let's see it. Carol Hossa and Jacqueline Cavalcanti, two pretty good strikers. I'm down to see it. And I think that'd be a decent fight, decent prelim on any card. Do it. After that, I think she beats Tate and Yana pretty easily, and I think she probably beats Mayra pretty easily if she can keep her limbs out of submissions. So, I think Host is the hardest fight there, and I think it's the most intriguing fight there, so let's see it. Cavalcanti, Carol Hossa. Sounds like a good fight to me. Book it. And of course, Julia is retired, so no fight here. Outside of that, not really much else to say. Very good opening fight of the night. Good way for Jacqueline Cavalcanti to start the night and get her 4th UFC win. So 4-0 now. We'll see how far she can go at a very shallow division. Outside of that, who should she fight next in that shallow division? I think her and Carol Hossa would be a very good fight, and I'd be down to see that. I think that'd be a really good prelim on any card. Besides that, good one for Cavalcanti. Enjoy retirement, Julia, and let's see what Jacqueline can do next. One of the few bright spots at women's bantamweight right now. Let's see if she can keep climbing the rankings. You gotta throw more, though. Gotta throw more. Good one for Cavalcanti to start the night. And a good way to start the night in general. Well, actually, daytime, it was like 4 o'clock, but still. Good fight. After that, we go to our second fight of the night, our first finish of good amount. I feel like we actually had a good amount of finishes on this card. It actually looks like a pretty even split of finishes, and this was the first one. Not gonna say a lot here since this fight was less than 90 seconds. And then our second fight of the night in the heavyweight division, we had Valter Walker versus Dontel Mays. Well, this fight went one of the only two ways it was gonna go. I don't know if I said this in the breakdown word for word, but I definitely thought this fight was only going one of two ways. Either Valter was gonna lay on him, or Valter was going to submit him, and I guess he picked the latter because, long story short, Valter shot almost immediately, got him down with ease, eventually went for the heel hook, fell back for the heel hook, and was it heel hook, ankle lock, heel hook, yeah, and quickly got it. Not really much more to it. Second time Dontel has been heel hooked. Thorogon was the first, which, how the fuck do you get submitted by Thorogon? I guess that's a different story for a different time. But yeah, quick, easy win for Valter Walker. Fought the perfect fight. Shoot, submission, win. Easy as it's gonna get. Good job, Valter. Yeah, you don't need to make it more complicated. So why overcomplicate something that can be as easy as a takedown and a submission? So good job. I'm impressed. So yeah, not really much more I can say there. Low heavyweight. About what you can expect. I'm happy Dontel actually tapped on like a Junior Tafa in Valter's last fight, but you know, it happens, and yeah, not very much to say. Quick, easy submission. To talk about each fighter, we'll start Valter Walker. Good win. First time I've actually been impressed with Valter in UFC, and even I'm not even that impressed, but I'll give him a little bit of respect. This is the best he's looked since in UFC so far. The story with him is this: he actually has a ground game, which is going to beat 50%, if not more, of heavyweights, because they have no idea what they're fucking doing, and Dontel Mays is a perfect example of that. So it's that simple. If you have a ground game at heavyweight, you're gonna go for Alexander Romanov, fucking terrible. Wanna know why he got ranked? He had a ground game. Jael and Almeida can't fight. Why is he so highly ranked? He has a ground game. Sergey Suvak's a terrible fighter. Has a ground game. You get it? Like, it's truly that simple. So it truly is. So, and good for Valter. I'll give him another fucking bit of praise. This is the best he looked physically. He's not a fat blob anymore. He actually looks in like really good shape. I think came in like super light compared to what he usually comes in at. Does have a weigh-in one? Yeah, 260. Let's see, what did he weigh in at? From 250. So he started at in his debut 264 to 252 to 245. I love seeing that at heavyweight. You don't see that often, and I wish we did. He looked really good on the scales. He looked really good in the fight. This is what he should be looking like, weight-wise and physique-wise. Like, he looked good here. He looked really physically good. His performance was good. This is a Valter Walker the UFC signed. So keep having performances like this, and you'll keep fucking getting praised. He's now in the top 15 because Dontel Mays was ranked 15th for some fucking reason. So keep having performances like this, and I won't have anything bad to say about him. They started to. He looked good here, man. He looked really fucking good. Nice flawless victory in the best shape of his career. Keep doing this, and who knows how far he can go at heavyweight. Never really know, do you? Great performance by Valter. He might be better than Johnny at this point. That's not even a joke. I know that's a low bar because Johnny Walker is fucking terrible, but still. So, good win for Valter Walker. Can't believe, great. I did not think I'd be saying that sentence a year ago, but, well, look where we are now. To talk about his opponent, Dontel Mays. Dontel is just not good, man. He's just not good. Like, this was not one of his weird fights where he looks like a fucking great fighter. This was a fight where he looked like a fucking bum. Because he is a bum. Does the UFC finally cut him? I don't know. I doubt it. I think they give him one more fight. I think the UFC really likes Dontel for some reason. Maybe because he's active. Like, he had 2 fights last year. 3 fights in 2023. So he's active. He says yes to everybody. His fights don't get cancelled often. But, like, he's awful. And he is 33 years old. He's now 11-8, 4-6 overall. If they cut him, I wouldn't be shocked, but I don't know if they will. So I think the UFC does really like him for some fucking reason. We'll see. Do I care if they cut him? Not really. I hope they do. I don't want to see another Dontel Mays fight. But knowing the UFC, he'll somehow get another fight or two, even if he loses, so. But I do think it'd be kinda ironic, his debut was a heel hook, his last fight was a heel hook. UFC got a chance to do something funny. Do it. We'll see. I don't know if I'm gonna put him on the chopping block, but we'll find out. Not really much else to say. Dontel Mays is just fucking terrible, man. Terrible. But besides that, the only thing I can think left to say now is who should they fight next? For Valter Walker, who's now in the top 15, another thing I would never thought I would say. He has some options. He's not gonna fight, and I don't think he's gonna fight any of these guys, so it's more one of these guys. Unless there's someone unranked he could fight, but at heavyweight, who the fuck is he gonna fight that's unranked? Like, there's like no talent outside of the top guys. Like, ow. Like, what, De Lima, Johanna Denise, fucking. So there's just really no one really that great worst fighting outside the top 15, and why would you? Fight up, not down. So, sure. But who can Valter fight? I don't know why, but Derek Lewis is coming to mind. Tuivasa shouldn't even be in the UFC anymore. Tybura and Spivak feels like big steps up. I don't know why. Valter Walker and Derek Lewis is very funny to think about. I know it'd probably be kind of lame because Derek just gets taken down, but I'm down to see it. I would really like to see it. I don't know, with Jorginho cut, I don't know who else Derek could fight. He already fought Tai Tuivasa. Like, him and Shamil would be funny as fuck, but I don't know if they're gonna do that. Who did I say Shamil should fight anyway? De Lima, right? Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. They might push fucking Shamil against like Spivak or Tybura, so I don't know. I don't know. And I don't know what they're gonna do with Shamil. I don't know why they took De Lima out to top 15, but whatever. And then I don't know who else Derek would fight. Like, Parkin's booked and Zechku's booked. I like Valter Walker and Derek Lewis. I think it's very intriguing. And like I said, the only other guy who I think could fight Derek and it'd be fun, who's unbooked right now, would be Shamil. And I would like to see that fight, because I think it'd be meme-worthy as fuck. But at the same time, I'm not upset if they go a different route for Shamil. Like I said, I think they're probably going to feed Spivak to him. I wouldn't be that shocked. But we'll see. But what I think we'll see is, I'll go Walter Walker, Derek Lewis. I think that's a very fun fight idea, and I would be down to see it, so let's see it. Walter Walker and Derek Lewis. Sounds like a good fight to me. I don't know why that fight, since I remember thinking that and at the end of the fucking fight earlier, while I was watching it live, I thought that was a good idea. So, well, I don't know, good idea, but that idea was on the mind. So let's do it. Walter Walker, Derek Lewis. Sounds fun to me. Book it. And then, of course, like I said, for Dontel Mays, who fucking knows? Either cut him or feed him to someone else. So, does anyone care? No. Cool. Good. Outside that, not really much else to say. Good one for Walter Walker, the best he's looked in UFC. Probably should have got a performance bonus, to be honest. And who should he fight next? I like him and Derek Lewis. I think that'd be very, very funny. And yeah, not really much more I can say. Good one for Walter Walker, and maybe let's see him and the Black Beast, the Clean Monster versus the Black Beast. That would be funny. But who knows, him and Shamil, Walter and Shamil would be fucking funny as fuck too, but they're not gonna do that. Not at this moment at least, so let's give that fight some time. Right now, let's see Valter and the Black Beast. Outside of that, not really much else to say. Good win for Walter Walker. Goddamn, half an hour, and we were only 2 fights in. The prelims were good on this card, man. The prelims were really fucking good, so the main card was really not, so yeah. We'll definitely cut some time off there, but we're not going to on the prelims, it doesn't seem. As we go into our third fight of the night, which was very, very good. Definitely a fight of the night contender, could have easily got the fight of the night award. And then our third fight of the night, we head to bantamweight for a fun fight between Elijah Smith versus Vince Morales. Very good fight here. Easily could have been fight of the night, as I said. Outside the main, if you take away the main event, in my opinion, this was probably fight of the night. It was a fucking banger. In round, got him fight behind on scorecard. And round 1, Elijah, I think, did a little bit better work. It was a very close round. Neither guy really did anything to pull away from the other. Elijah did get a takedown late, which was very smart of him to do, and I think that gave him the round. So I think Elijah got that round late. And round 2, definitely the best round for Vince Morales. They were mainly having a grappling match, and Vince was getting the better of him. Locked in, I think, like 3 submissions that he failed to get. But he definitely still locked him in and almost got him. And outside of Elijah almost getting a rear naked choke early, I think Vince got round 2. And then in round 3, they were pretty much back on the feet, and it was kind of an Elijah Smith showcase on the feet. He smashed Vince Morales' nose and bloodied him up even more than he already was. Did almost get choked again, but he was able to survive and get out of that. And outside of that, I can't really remember anything else that happened that round. So, with that being said, 29-28 Elijah Smith, seems like everyone agrees, and that was that. Vince Morales did almost lock in a standing rear naked choke late in the at the end of the fight, like with 10 seconds left, if there was more time on the clock, who knows if he would have got it or not. It was looking like he was gonna get it, but just fell short, so bad luck there, but what can you do? You live and learn. Good fight, really fucking good fight. Like, these two went at it. On the feet, they were fun, but on the feet, they were fun, but Elijah Smith was clearly better. On the ground, they were pretty even. Vince kind of just kept throwing up submissions to stall Elijah, and it did work for a while, but overall, it was definitely, outside of those submission attempts, Vince really didn't get a lot going. His striking really didn't do a lot. His face got bloodied very quickly, and again, Elijah was just kind of able to do the better work. So it was a pretty nice. It was a really nice fight, but it was a really good win for Elijah Smith. Again, he's able to do the better work on the feet. And even on the ground, he didn't look like a fish out of water. He just leaves his neck open a lot. And a lot of people are going to watch this fight a lot of guys in that division are going to watch that fight and take notes, because damn, does he leave his neck open. If he was fighting a better grappler, he would have been submitted very easily. So we'll see. We'll see if someone capitalizes on that in the future, because it's very worrying. Again, when he fights the better grapplers in the division, at how easily he lets his neck get taken. So thank God Vincent Morales is a shitty submission artist, because if he had any submission game, Elijah would have been out cold. So, meant like 6 times. So, yeah. Outside of that, man, really good fight, as I said. Again, definitely my runner-up for 5 of the night, because it was just a really good fight. On the feet, good. On the ground, which I know for me to say is shocking, but on the ground it was really good. I enjoyed it, man. I thought it was a really good fight. Respect to both guys for having a banger, and I can't really say much else than that. So, really good fight. Clear, easy decision. No really debate on who won. Clear 29-28. All the rounds were close, but clear. And outside of that, good fight as usual with the bantamweights, because they just can't have a bad fight. So, good job, great fight, and see what happens. See what happens with these two. Speaking of these two, let's talk about these two now, because I can't think of anything else to say about the fight, so let's talk about Elijah Smith. We'll talk about him first. Elijah, good win for Elijah. He looked good. He showed he has some holes in his game, though, which is expected for a 22-year-old who's in his, 9th fight. So, again, very expected. He's going to need to fix up these holes, though, because they're not like some that's minor. He has some giant problems in his game that guys are going to exploit and beat him if he doesn't fix them up. Like, if he keeps giving up his neck like he has, he's going to get submitted. Like, if he was fighting around Yaya, he would have got submitted in a minute. So, if he can fix up that submission defense, he could be really good. His striking's good. His cardio looked improved from the Contender Series. He has good heart to get out of these submissions. He's good. Now just fix up your submission defense. Do that. He could be a real good prospect. He's super fucking young, 22 years old. He has a bunch of talent. Let's see how far he can go. The kid's good. Again, the kid is very good. 22 years old. Let's see how far he can go. Fix up that submission defense. Stop giving up your neck so easily. And, let's see how far he can go. Good win for Elijah Smith. in his debut, and I got a lock of the night right. Thank God. 2 and 3 now in 2025. I'm getting back on track. Getting back on track with my locks of the night. To talk about his opponent, Vince Morales. Really good fight by him. Really good forms. He looked better than I thought he would. I don't think you cut him. I was gonna say you cut him if he got beat like badly, but with how good this fight was, give him another chance. Why not? I think he earned it. Which, and that's come from me. If you watch my breakdown, I was not very nice to Vince Morales. So, but he earned some respect here. I say, again, give him one more fight. He looked really good here, testing the young kid. So, give him one more fight, because he had a banger. He wasn't scared to fight, so fuck it, give him one more fight. Why not? 34 years old. I don't see why not. If you do cut him, I don't care. I don't mind that much. I have no real issue with it, but I would give him one more fight. He earned it, in my opinion. So, yeah. Respect to Vince Morales. Outside of that, not really much anything else to say about the fight nor the fighters, so who should they fight next? I don't know if I'm going to find Elijah. I don't think I will find Elijah a fight. I don't know why that was so hard to say. Again, I think I talked about this the other week. I forget what card. Was it last week? Because everyone was a debuting fighter. It's not easy to find debuting fighters a fight idea. But who knows, maybe I'll fucking get lucky. Let's see. Quang Li, that's not a bad option, but feels like almost not much of a step up if it's the one at all. Kazama, Dan Argueta, kind of the same thing I just said. Kind of not really a step up. Quinones, Bolanos, Haddon, Roman Tavares, Chad and Hunger ain't a bad option. I think that's a very intriguing option. That's like about the same wavelength as fucking Vince Morales, in my opinion. And then I like Kung Ho Kang, So I think I like that Chad and Hellinger fight. That's the one that looked the best. Everyone else just either isn't a step up, or I think is too big of a step up. So, yeah, I don't mind that Chad and Hellinger fight. I think that'd be a good fight for Elijah. A nice veteran. Kind of the same thing with Vince Morales. Maybe a little bit better than Vince Morales. I don't know if I review Chad as much better than Vince, but it's not a step down at least. But it's not a giant step up. So I don't hate that fight. I think that'd be an interesting fight. They are going to Canada very soon, so maybe too soon for that fight to get booked there, but you never know. And outside of that, I don't know if there's really any other great options. So yeah, we haven't fight Ronnie Yaya, as I said. But yeah, I think I like that fight, Chad and Hellinger. I think it would make a lot of sense. So let's do it. Elijah Smith versus Chad and Hellinger. Seems like the most logical fight I can find for him, so do it. Smith and Hellinger, book it. They're going to Canada soon, so why not? Outside of that, not really much I'll say. Really good fight, as I said. These two went to war. Respect to Vince Morales for not shutting me up, but making Elijah work for this win, and a good win for Elijah, making me sweat out another lock of the night pick. Can they just not fucking make me sweat out a pick and just win, please? But great fight. Again, easily could have been 5 of the night if the main event wasn't the main event. And who should they fight next? I like Elijah Smith versus Chad and Hellinger. I think that fight makes a lot of sense. Frame a good next step up for Elijah Smith. And yeah, I'm down to see it. So not very much I'll say. Good fight. Respect to Vince, Elijah, and Chad and Hellinger. Chad and Hellinger, saying that name over and over, fucking mind-numbing, I think would be a logical next fight. And yeah, good debut for the 22-year-old, And thank you for getting my lock of the night right. Banging third fight of the night. Banger third fight of the night, whatever phrase you would like to use. After that, we go to our fourth fight of the prelims, a one that I definitely got wrong, and there's no debate here. I will take my L here with no fucking argument. Not happy about this one. Damn it. As in our fourth fight of the night, we go up to welterweight for a decent fight between Gabriel Bonfim versus Khaos Williams. Oh yeah, like I said, I got this wrong. There's no debate there. I very much got this wrong. Khaos just did not do anything I thought he would. Long story short, in round one, Bonfim was able to stay on the outside and just pick at Khaos. Yes, he did kind of just run away, but wouldn't you against Khaos Williams? So at least I do understand it. Let alone Khaos was barely throwing anything to begin with, so kind of a double-edged sword. Bonfim clearly takes the first round off of landing the better strikes when they did throw, and getting a few takedowns. I think he got 2 in round 1, so good job there. Then in round 2, much of the same, kind of just Bonfim running away, staying at range, picking at Khaos, getting takedowns, until late in the round he locks in a Darth choke and puts him out cold. The ref didn't even know he was out cold. Bonfim just let go of the choke with 2 seconds left, and Khaos was out. So, impressive. Bonfim submits Khaos Williams in round 2 and looks pretty damn good. Respect. Yeah, I definitely got this one wrong. There's not much of a debate there. I took a no here. Badly. Yeah, Bonfim fought the perfect fight against Khaos. Stay at range, take him down, win. Khaos didn't help himself much by just not throwing, but you know, it's Khaos Williams. If he doesn't get a knockout, he's gonna fucking lose. Fucking annoying. But yeah, Bonfim just fought the perfect fight here. So, I can't even hate on him. He looked good. I still know if I'm taking him out the fraud club because Khaos Williams is not known for throwing a lot of punches. So, you know, kinda annoying there. But outside that, Bonfim did look good. He did look very good. I think maybe the best I've seen him. Maybe the best he's looked in the UFC. Because this was his most well-rounded performance. He went 2 rounds. His striking looked good. Maybe his best performance so far, so I'll give him his respect. I'll give him his respect here, and I'll take my L. So, I'll take my L on the chin here and move on. There's not really much else to say about this fight. There was one dude fighting smart and one dude not barely fighting at all, so what can you do? What I'm going to do after saying that is move on to talking about the fighters, because I don't got anything else to say about the fight, so let's talk about Gabriel Bonfim. Again, really good win for Bonfim, his best win in the UFC, his best performance in the UFC. The dude looked really good. I'm still not going to take him out the fraud club yet, but again, like I said, the best he's looked in the UFC. Cardio looked better. Striking looked better. Grappling looked good, as he usually does. Fight IQ was good. He looked good. I can't say anything bad. I really can't. Hell, he would have smashed Renat with how he looked in this fight, so good one for Bonfim, man. 4-1 now, back on a 2-fight winning streak. Let's see, maybe he is back. Maybe he is finally turning into that prospect and hyped up guy the UFC hyped him up to be at first, so only one way to find out. Great performance by Bonfim. To talk about his opponent, Khaos Williams, the guy who just doesn't fucking throw. His first time getting finished in his MMA career. Yeah, we've seen his ceiling. We know we're getting with Khaos at this point. He's going to knock out a few lower level guys, and then he's going to lose to the higher echelon. And even Bonfim ain't the higher echelon, but still, it's that simple. That's what his UFC career is going to be: knocking out some guys and then losing to better ones. It's pretty simple. We've seen fighters like this 100 times. We're going to see it 100 more times. He's just a highlight machine. He's going to get highlights versus tomato cans or lower level opponents, and then get beat by better ones. So it's annoying. It's annoying to pick him and watch him throw 3 punches in 2 rounds, but that's Khaos Williams, man. Has all the talent in the world. Just doesn't fucking hit. He just can't fucking capitalize on it. Very annoying. But again, that's Khaos Williams for you. Besides that, not really much else I can think to say. Besides, who should I fight next? For Bonfim, this is a ginormous win. He shoots himself up right into a big fight. You, like, finishing Khaos Williams, you put yourself into a big fucking fight. Not a top 15 fight, I don't think. But you are now fighting someone right outside, one of the guys right outside the top 15, so let's see who that is. Yeah, he just entered the top 25, top 20 of welterweight doing that, so let's see who can he fight. Maybe Randy Brown? That doesn't sound like a bad fight, because I feel like his options are Randy Brown, Renat, Neil Magny, and Michael Chiesa. I think Jake Matthews should fight Oban Elliott. I don't think Bonfim should fight Muslim Sadykhov. I think there's better fights out there for Sadykhov. So that leaves, I think, Chiesa, Magny, Renat, and Randy Brown. I think I like the Randy Brown fight the most. I think. Because I'm trying to think who else would Randy Brown fight. That would be a good option. I don't think Bonfim should fight Brian Battle. I just don't think that's a very logical fight. So yeah, I think I like that fucking Randy Brown fight. It looks like the best option for both guys. And then Chiesa, Neil, and Renat could fight other people. Renat could fight Neil. Chiesa could fight Dalby. I think that'd be kind of neat. So, or Chiesa and Sadykhov would be pretty cool. So, yeah, I think I like that. I think I like those fights. And the main one that we're talking about is Bonfim. So, let's see Bonfim and Randy Brown. I think that fight would make a lot of sense. I think that fight would be very intriguing. So, let's see it. Not really much more to say there. I'd be very intrigued to see that fight. I'm not sure who I'd pick in that fight after this fight and Randy Brown's last fight, so it would be very interesting. Besides that, not very much more to say. Good fight. Great performance by Gabriel Bonfim, shutting me up, proving me wrong, which is something that happened a few times on this card. And who should he fight next? I like him and Randy Brown. I think that'd be a very, very good fight. And I'd be really intrigued to see who takes that, so let's see it. And then for Khaos, feed him a can, he can KO pretty easily, because that's all he's good for. So, yeah. Not very much else to say. Good performance by Bonfim. Good way to start the night for the Bonfims. Did that good night continue? We'll find out later. Good one for Gabriel. Good one for little brother. Big brother, your turn. After that, we head to our 5th fight of the night, the worst prelim, which I guess is not saying a lot, because it's not saying a lot. I mean, because the prelims were pretty good, so I guess it's not a bad thing to be the worst, as in our 5th fight of the night in the flyweight division. Another fight I got brutally wrong. Good job, RX. As we had Rafael Estevam versus Jesus Aguilar. yeah, I got this wrong pretty badly. In a way, I got this wrong, even though I still stand by some of the points I made in my breakdown, so kind of a 50-50 split. I got it wrong, but I also still think I'm right in a few areas. The long story short, with this fight, Rafael Estevam just dominated Jesus for the first 10 minutes, and then he gassed out in round 3, got beat up pretty badly, and secured the 29-28 decision. Pretty much the same thing he did against Charles Johnson, like 2 AT. Like, he looks great for the first 10 minutes, and the second round 2 ends, he just fades. Like, he just turns into a shell. Not even a good one, because he just eats punches, so I still stand by my point that his gas tank sucks, and he's going to be beat because of it eventually, but it was not Jesus Aguilar to be doing that, so that's for sure. It was definitely not Jesus Aguilar tonight, because he got thrown around for the first 10 minutes, like, badly. He was just completely overpowered. Like, Estevam just had him. If Estevam got a hold of him, he was gonna go to the ground and stay on the ground, so yeah, Jesus just too small. He was just too small. Not like Estevam is much bigger, but he was stronger, that's for sure. And it's not like Estevam didn't have to face adversity. He did get locked in the Jesus guillotine early in round 1, but he was able to survive that, so respect there. I literally said when he got locked in guillotine, did he? No way, he did it again. He didn't do it again, because Estevam did find a way to escape that. And that was pretty much Jesus' best moment of the first 2 rounds. And then he beat the shit out of Estevam for 5 minutes in round 3, so yeah. I'll take my L. I thought Jesus was going to give him more of a challenge on the ground. I thought he was going to gas him out quicker doing that, but neither of those two things happened, so yeah. I'll take my L. I still don't think Estevan's that great of a prospect. I do think he is still beautiful, and I think he will lose to someone better very soon if he stays active, but as of right now, 2-0. I'll give him the respect. Outside of that, not very much I'll say about the fight. Again, the worst prelim of the card, in my opinion. It did get pretty boring at times. It was a lot of Estevam just holding Jesus down, which I get it. And definitely what you have to do against Jesus. Yeah, not taking my L here. Happens, and I just move on. Talk about the fighters real quick, because there's not really a lot more that needs to be said. For Estevam, Charles Johnson, Jesus Aguilar is a crazy first 2 wins in UFC. That's like top. That's like that's 2 of the best first 2 wins I've seen in a while. And the Charles Johnson one's aging like fucking fine wine. And Jesus Aguilar is a very solid fighter, so those are 2 really, really good wins. I'll give Estevam respect there, but I still think he's beatable. I still think that cardio is going to fuck him over sooner than later. Someone's going to push a pace on him that's going to gas him out even sooner than it does already. And I think he's going to get finished, or just beat, and I could see him dropping round 2 and 3 in a fight, because he just gassed quicker. So, but that didn't happen tonight. What happened tonight is he showed he's back. His grappling is very good, he's very strong, and the cardio is still an issue, and he really has no striking. But outside of those 2 things, still 13-0, still got the win, still got 2 really nice wins in his first UFC fights, and we'll see how far the kid can go. So, good comeback for Estevam. And then for Jesus, kind of the same thing I've said for a few fighters on this card. I think we've seen his ceiling now. He's a good unranked fighter. He's gonna be able to beat the lesser guys in the division when he gets to fight them, but it doesn't seem like he's going to be able to beat the better guys. He's gonna always fight prospects, it seems. He's a perfect prospect tester, because he's good enough to test them, but not bad enough to get squashed by them. So, I think he's found his ceiling in the UFC, and there's been much worse ceilings to have, so can't complain about being a decent unranked guy. So I don't think he's gonna really go on a losing streak anytime soon. I get him cut, because I think he is a decent fighter. So yeah, I can't really say anything that bad about Jesus. He just got beat here. It happens. Besides that, not really much else to say. Besides, who should they fight next? For Estevam, if he does fight again within the next 2 years, which knock on wood, which I guess I can't even say, since he sat out for 2 years because he had a tumor. So it's awesome that he got to come back from that. Happy for him. But to talk about who he could fight next. Yeah, Jesus Aguilar and Charles Johnson, you definitely deserve a pretty big fight coming off of those 2 wins, but who? I don't think any of these guys. That would feel like a step backwards at this point. Probably Phil Ho or Nascimento would be interesting, in my opinion. I'm leaning Nascimento. I think that'd be a good option. Another guy who's been very fucking inactive. Cody Durden wouldn't be a bad option either, but I don't know about that one. I think I like the Alan Nascimento fight, unless they're training partners, or they go to the same gym. Which I don't know. Shoot the box, I don't think Estevam, he goes to Nuvonia with Aldo's coach. Yeah, I think I like Estevam and Nascimento. Either that or Cody Durden. I think those are 2 best options, and I think Nascimento is a lot more interesting of fights. So, especially again, since he's been off for 2 years, Estevam just came back from a 2-year layoff. I'm down to see it, and I think that'd be a good fight, so yeah, well, I say let's do it. With Rafael Estevam and Alan Nascimento, I like it. Let's do it. Either that or Cody Durden. I think those are 2 best options. I'm gonna lean with Nascimento. We'll see what the UFC does. But outside of that, not really much else to say. Not sure who Jesus Aguilar fights. Probably whatever nice prospect they would like to test. I could see him fighting Ray Soruya or fucking Hong Sung Park, someone like that. So we'll see. And outside of that, not very much else to say. Good points by Estevam. Domination in the first 10 minutes. Cardio and striking are still not great, but still got the win. Still have time to fix that up and get better. So good to see him back after 2 years. And what a fucking first 2 wins in UFC. So good comeback for Estevam. I'll take another L here with Aguilar. And who should they fight next? I like Estevam versus Alan Nascimento. I think that'd be a good fight. Both are not very active, so let's have 2 inactive guys fight and see who wins. So, yeah. Outside of that, not very much else to say. Good comeback for Rafael Estevam. Another guy that shut me up on this card. Great. After that, we go to what was our featured prelim before, but now is our co-main event of the prelims, and it was a good fight nonetheless. And then our co-main event of the prelims, we head to strawweight for a fight that was very, very good between Angela Hill versus Ketlen Souza. Really good fight here. As expected, I did not think this fight would be a bad one. And it wasn't. This was a very, very good fight between the OG and the prospect. And it was interesting. It was very close, as every Angela Hill fight is. In round 1, Angie came out like a bat out of hell and just fucking dominated Ketlen. The first few minutes into the fight, I thought, who the fuck is this Angie? I've never seen. This Angie is goddamn mean. She just went at Ketlen. Fucking mauled her in round 1. So, that was definitely, not what I expect from Angie. Takedowns, good striking, domination. Round 2, fight got a lot closer. Round 2 was just razor thin. Could have went either way. I leaned Souza. I thought if you were going to give her a round, you give her round 2 more than anything. But it was very razor close. I gave Ketlen round 2. I think most people did, so that's interesting. And then in round 3, another razor close round. Could have scored it either way. I agree with the judges again. I agree with the judges here. I did give Ketlen round 3 as well. And it seems like a lot of people did, so I gave Ketlen the fight. I thought she won 2 and 3, but I was razor close. And your winner by split decision for the first time, Angela Hill. I'm not upset about it. Obviously, I picked Angie, but even outside of that, just as a fan, I'm not upset about it. Round 2 and 3 could go either fucking way. Round 1 was the only clear round of the fight. Round 2 and 3 could go either way. They were both dead even. It felt like neither one of them in 2 or 3 really pulled ahead, in my opinion. Angie was pretty gassed late in those late rounds. Ketlen was doing good work. So it was a very even, close fight, and like I said, I think that Ketlen won. I leaned her way after the fight, but it's not a robbery. It could go either way. You could have it scored 2 and 3 Ketlen, 1 and 3 Angie, 1 and 2 Angie. Fuck, you'd have 30-27 Angie. So it was a close fight. It was a good fight, and it's an Angela Hill fight. It's gonna be able to go either way. It reminds me of the Tabitha Ricci fight, which I think was even closer than this. It was just a fucking flip of a coin. Anyone could have got that on any fucking day. If you put in 3 different judges, it could go either fucking way. So, not a robbery. I don't think anyone's saying robbery. They shouldn't be saying robbery. I think they're a little crazy to do that. And either way, I'm happy. This was a good fight. Both looked good. And it's hard not to be happy for Angie finally getting a split decision. Her first split decision win of her career after losing too many. So, good for Angie. How do you not love Angie? And, yeah. Good fight. Not a robbery. And, hey, you should never say I'm biased. I scored this fight how I thought I unbiasedly scored this fight for the person I picked to lose, so I don't want to hear it. So, yeah. Outside of that, again, a very good fight, and a lot of interesting things shown in this fight on both sides, so good fight, ladies. Really good fight. To talk about Angie first, she still got it. She never lost it. 40 years old, still going strong. Again, how do you not love Angie? She's a dog, man. Her cardio did look a little worse than it usually does here, so that's a little bit worrying. But outside of that, she looked meaner. Her striking looked good. Her knees looked good. Her ground game looked good. She looked meaner, and I think that's a very interesting thing to see from Angie, who we've never really seen be a pissed off fighter. She's usually pretty chill in the cage, but she looked mean here, so I like seeing this Angie. I like seeing this one, and again, it's hard not to be happy for her getting her first split decision W of her fucking career, so, of her UFC career. So after losing 1, fucking 2, 3, 4, fucking 4 in the past, and some of those, a few of those were robberies, I'm happy to see her finally get one. So, good for Angie. 40 years old, still going strong. How do you not love Overkill Hill? And to talk about Ketlen Souza, I hope this doesn't, like, fucking break her. I thought she looked good. I still think she's a really good prospect in the division. I still think she can be a top 15 fighter. She has to take this as a learning experience. Take notes, get better, and come back. Yeah, I think you won this fight, but you can't just put all your eggs in that basket. You gotta get better. You can't rely on a robbery. The judges got it right. It was a 50-50 fight, and your coin didn't fucking land on your side. So get better from this. Don't let this break you. And I think Ketlen could still be a top 15 fighter. She is good, man. She is good. Hell, she fucking had better. Her striking was good. Her cardio was better than Angie's. Her ground game was decent at times. She had a lot of good moments. So just gotta learn and live and learn. She's still 29 years old, still super young. Just get better from this. I think it's that simple. So if she can get better from this, come back later in the year a better fighter, a more experienced fighter, she can still be in the top 15 in my opinion. So can't really say much else on that. Get better from this. All I can really say. Outside of that, not really much else to say besides who should I fight next? For Angie, who the fuck can she fight at this point? She's fought the whole damn division twice. So who could she fight? She's now ranked number 13. Marina Rodrigues, maybe. Like, I know she's coming off some L's. Are we gonna do the Tisha Pennington trilogy? Didn't Tisha win both fights? I think she did. So, yeah, I don't think we're gonna be doing that anytime soon. Did Tisha win both fights? Where's the other one? Yeah, so that's off the table. She already fought Denise, who's on a 2-fight winning streak. Really no one else who could join the top 15 at the moment, so yeah, probably Marina Rodrigues would make the most sense. I think I forgot Marina's fighting Joe Rao. Fuck. Amanda Ribas, finally get that fight to go through. I'm down to see that. Ribas coming off a loss to... Who the fuck did Ribas just lose to? Oh, Mackenzie. Yeah, I'm down to see Angie and Ribas finally, because outside of that, who did Angie fight? Already fought her twice. Just beat her 2 years ago. Booked. Just fought her not long ago. Just fought her. Booked. Fuck it, Amanda Ribas. There's no one outside the top 15 she could fight. She just fought someone outside of the top 15. Let's see, Angela Hill and Amanda Ribas. That fight was booked, I think, twice. And it got cancelled during the pandemic, so let's see it rebooked. Ribas and Dern. Or, not Dern. Ribas and Hill. Let's see it. I'm down to see it. I'm taking Angie in this fight, to be honest. Let's finally see this fight happen. Angie and Ribas. Book it. And then for Ketlen, just gotta live and learn from this, get better. I guess I can give her a quick little idea, because I do think she is still top 15 level fight. Let's see, who would be a good fight for her? Like, Carolina's always an option to get back on track. Pierre Rodrigues, Elise Reed, fucking... someone like that. Probably like Elisa Reed would be good. Beat her up real quick, get back on track. So, yeah, something along those lines sounds pretty good. So, do that. Pretty simple. So, yeah. Not very much else to say about this fight. Again, very good fight. Very close decision. Could have went to either one of them on any given night with any judges. And who should they fight next? I like Angie versus Amanda Hebos. Finally get to see that fight happen after long overdue. And let's get Cal and Souza back on the winning track against like Elisa Reed, I guess, someone along those lines. So Angie and Hebos, Souza gets like a layup like Reed. Can't really think of much else to say. Good one for Angie. Always happy for Angie. And yeah, not very much else to say. She finally got a split decision. You'll love to see it. And now for our featured prelim, only an hour and 15 minutes in, you know. We had to featherweight for a fight that was somehow even more one-sided than I predicted. And a fight that should have stayed on the main card of how bad a few main card fights were. As we had to end the prelims, Jose Delgado versus Connor Matthews. Well, I don't gotta say a lot here because this was just a fucking one-sided beating. Long story short, not a lot happened early in the fight. Matthews shot a takedown or two that got stuffed, pretty much. And I think he did get Delgado down for a split second, but barely. Eventually, Delgado threw a head kick that missed, but he came back with spinning back fist, very sharp bullet-like. And then not long after, he dropped him with a overhand right, and that was the end of the fight. A little bit of ground and pound put Matthews out, and that was that. Jose Delgado by easy first round knockout. Yeah, as expected. I thought, actually not even, I thought it was going to go a little longer than that. I had round 2, but I guess he wanted to put him out in round 1, so that's the fucking running theme with my second round finishes on this card, apparently. Yeah, man, not really much I can say. Connor Matthews did his job of getting fucking destroyed perfectly. Jose Delgado looked flawless. Exactly what the UFC wanted. Can't complain. So, yeah, not really much more to say. Quick, easy one for the prospect in his debut. Getting fed a layup, and he beat that layup with ease. So, yeah, not really more I can add to the fight. So, quick, easy, and almost fucking sad how easy it was. So, too easy. To talk about each fighter real quick, again, there's just not a lot to say for Delgado. He looked flawless versus a layup. If he looked good, like he could, if he, like, the only two questions I have about him are his cardio and his ground game. His striking is great, his power is great. If he can fucking prove he has a good cardio and gas tank, he could be a top 15 dude in my opinion. He's young, he's from the MMA Lab, which is a great gym. He's very talented. This dude could be a problem in the division. Show you have a ground game and some cardio, this dude's gonna be a problem. The Jose Delgado, definitely an early contender for Rookie of the Year, because if this dude fights two more times this year, he's gonna fuck some shit up. He's good. Really good. And then for Connor Matthews, the complete opposite. He's terrible. Truly terrible. 0-2 now. I would not be shocked if he got cut. He is just not good. And we'll see what they do with him. If they give him one more fight to get beat up in, or if they just cut him straight up. I don't think anyone really cares. Again, I think he's fucking terrible, so either you feed him to another fucking prospect you want to get a nice win, or you fucking cut him now, so whatever the UFC wants to do, we'll find out very soon. And yeah, Connor, you did a perfect job of making Delgado look good. Congratulations, 10 out of 10. Besides that, all I'd love to say is, who should they fight next for Jose Delgado? Obviously, you don't shoot him up to rankings right away, but you definitely should give him a pretty decent fight after a performance like that. You don't feed him another guy who kind of is a layup. You give him a little bit more of a challenge, not much more, but a little more. Who would that be? Let's see. Gabriel Miranda wouldn't be bad. Weston Wilson wouldn't be a bad one. But even though that kind of feels like a step backward to an extent. Bogdan Grad wouldn't be terrible. Gavin Tucker would be interesting. He's been fucking inactive for a while. Pineda's retired. Arce's gone. Jamal Emmers is always a good test for these guys, but even that feels like kind of a big jump up from fucking Connor Matthews. Shyland, kind of the same thing with Shyland, so I don't mind that Gavin Tucker fight. I think he'd be a good, he would make Delgado look pretty good, and be a nice name on the record, a guy who was fighting for a ranking a few years ago and now is kind of on a skid. So I'm down to see Gavin Tucker and Jose Delgado, because I feel like Shyland and Jamal, guys like that, are a little bit a still pretty early jump up that high for Delgado. I think he wins those fights, but I do think that's kind of a very early jump from Connor Matthews to those two, a big jump at that. So yeah, I think I like a Gavin Tucker fight, a pretty easy win, but against a better name and a little more talented guy. So let's see it. I like Jose Delgado and Gavin Tucker. I believe Tucker is still in UFC. He hasn't been cut from what I remember, and he hasn't fought in a while. So yeah, he's meant to fight last year. So let's see him return against Jose Delgado. Sounds good to me. So outside of that, not very much else to say. I don't care who Connor Matthews fights if he does get another fight in the UFC. If he does, just feed him to a guy who's gonna put him on another highlight reel, because that's all he's good for. So yeah, not very much else to say. Great debut for Jose Delgado. Can't look much better than that. How did he not get a bonus? And who should he fight next? I like him and Gavin Tucker. As of right now, I think that's a good fight. Would make sense. Usually loves feeding these guys at the end of their careers to these prospects. Gavin Tucker's at the end of his career. So let's see him go on the Jose Delgado's highlight reel. Outside of that, not very much else to say. Great debut for Delgado. MMA Lab has another great fighter, because they didn't have enough with O'Malley, McGee, and fucking Kyler Phillips. And see how far this kid can go. Great debut for Delgado. We'll see what they do with Matthews. Yeah, as easy as it gets in your debut. And finally, maybe the longest prelims of all time. Done. 1 hour, 23 minutes. Finally done with the prelims. They were good. They were definitely the bright spot of the card. They were all pretty good. Cavalcanti looked good. Valter Walker was pretty easy. Elijah Smith had a banger. Bonfim looked good. Estevam was not great, but you know, it's gonna happen. Angelo Hill had a banger. Delgado looked great. It was a really solid prelims. Again, one of the worst fight was Estevam, which was still a decent fight. It's hard to really complain about that, so I'll take 6 really good fights and 1 semi-okay fight. Really good prelims. And now we move on to the main card, which I wish I could say the same thing about it being good and all of that, but I can't, because it was kind of shitty at times. So let's not waste your time. Let's get into the main card, and let's finally get this recap done with. 5 more fights. let's get into it. And I'm not even going to click on the first fight because I'm not going to even waste time with that fight. First fight of the main card in the middleweight division, Andre Petroski versus Rodolfo Vieira. Shitty fight. I don't have anything to say. They both suck. Do you really care about that fight? It was two shitty strikers who can't strike trying to strike. It went how you thought it did. Shitty fight, don't care. I'll probably have Petroski. I'll probably give English. I'll probably give Petroski a fight idea tomorrow when I do fight ideas, but as of right now, I don't even care to waste the time. The video's long enough. You don't care. I don't care. Shitty fight. After that, we go into our second fight of the main card, which was not shitty, even though it was sadly cut too early. And then our second fight of the main card, we had to lightweight for the other brother from our prelim winner, as we had Nazim Sadykhov versus Ismael Bonfim. Well, it's time for the other Bonfim boy, and how did he do? Not as good as his brother. Even though it was very, very lucky what happened. Round one, Ismael was dominating until late in the round. He got hit with a question mark kick right on his right eye that completely just closed it. And in between rounds, the doctor had to stop the fight. Could not see, got kicked in the eye, obviously, and that was that. Does it suck? Yeah. Is it a real win? I think so, because Nazim did cause the fucking injury. So, it's not like it was. But fuck. Not like it was some bullshit thing, but still a doctor stoppage is always gonna feel kinda weak, so. But, it is what it is. He did land the kick right on the eye and closed it. It gives me vibes of Chris Padilla in Wrong Chew, if you remember that. I know that was an elbow, but kind of same vibe, landing a shot on the eye, and their doctor has to stop it because he can't see. So, you gotta be able to see, unless you're Michael Bisping. So, it sucks to have a doctor stoppage, but what can you do? And now it's the second doctor stoppage win of Nazim's career, which is crazy to have one, let alone two. And unlike Edmen one, at least he was winning this fight. He clearly took round one, and so at least you can say that he at least won round one. He wasn't getting beat like in the Edmen fight. So yeah, I don't know how a judge gave Ismael. Well, never mind, it's Chris Lee. That guy's a fucking dipshit. So, what'd you expect? Yeah, really good fight for as long as it did last. And again, it sucks it ended how it did, but what can you do? Besides say, shit happens, and maybe don't eat a head kick to the eye. So, yeah. Not really much else to say. Good win for Nazim and a good fight, so yeah. To talk about the fighters real quick, we'll start with Nazim. It's good to see him back. I don't know how far he can go at lightweight. I do think he has a ceiling, but he got another nice win here, so we'll see what that ceiling is. If he can stay active, he might be able to be like a top 25 guy. He's good. He has good striking. He has good power. He trains from Marab and all those guys, so he has good ground game. So it's just let's see how far he can go. So it's good to see him back. He didn't look that rusty. He did have to play defense a lot of round one until he landed that head kick. So that's gonna happen against Ismael. And yeah. Good to see Nazim back, and he looked good. He seemed like he was just starting to knock the rust off as well, and when he landed that kick. So hopefully if he fights again pretty soon, he just starts off ready. So let's wait and see. to talk about his opponent, Ismael Bonfim, letting the family down after Gabriel's great performance. Excuse me. He got, if you want to call it fluky, fine, I get it. I think it's kind of weak to call it fluky, but if you want to, fine. We'll see if they do with Ismael now. 2-2 in the UFC. He'll probably get fed a can in his next fight. I don't know what to make of him, especially with his brother apparently becoming good again. So we'll find out what they do with Ismael. We'll find out. So, like, he'll probably just look at this as a fluky loss. That's not even a loss, and if that makes him feel better, cool. I think that's weak, but whatever. We'll see. Ismael probably get fed a cans in the next fight, and that's good for him, so, yeah. All I think we have to say now is who should they fight next for Nazim Sadykhov. If he stays active, which again, knock on wood, we always want to see fighters stay active. There's a lot of options for him, especially after a win like that. Well, the UFC really likes the Bonfim boys, so a win like that should get him a big fight, or should give him, in my opinion, should get him a big fight, but you never know with the UFC. Who could that big fight be? Him and Ricardo Close or Thiago Moises would both be pretty fun fights. I forget who I said Moises should fight after his last win, but depending on who I said, that would be a fun fight, or Ricardo Close would be a fun fight. I don't think he should do that to Mick the Beck. I don't know if he should fight Jared Gordon. I think I kind of fucked up to have him fight Nazim after he fucking made weight and said yes to Ruzaboyev's brother, etc., etc. So I don't think that's gonna make sense. Guram would be a banger, but who knows when the fuck he's ever gonna fight. Michael Johnson would be a banger, but who knows when he's gonna fight. Let alone do you really want to see Michael Johnson get beat like that. So, I like the Ricardo Close fight. I think that's a pretty interesting fight. Coming off of the loss to Joel Alvarez, I don't think he goes to Longo, no, he's a lab member. So yeah, I think I like that fight, Ricardo Close and Nazim Sadykhov. I think that's a very fun fight. And, I don't know who wins that fight. That'd be a very 50-50 fight, so I'm down to see it. Let's book it. And then for Ismael, he'll get fed a can, probably. I could see him fighting fucking, let's see, I could see him fighting Jamie Malarkey, Loic Radzhabov, someone like that, Natan Levy. So they want to get him back on track, so they'll probably give him someone along those lines. So yeah, someone along those lines. And outside of that, not very much else to say about this fight. Again, you always hate to see a doctor stoppage, but when you can't see, you can't fucking see, so what can you do? Besides shrug your shoulders and say, it happens. Get back to drawing board and go from there. Who should they fight next? I'd like Nazim Sadykhov versus Ricardo Close. I think that's a very fun fight, and I really don't know who wins that fight, so I think it'd be a banger. And for Ismael, he'll probably get fed a can, so we'll see who that is. Besides that, not very much else to say. Good one for Nazim in his return. I don't think it should be looked at as some fluky thing. And, yeah. Good to see Nazim back. Now stay active. After that, we go to our co-main event of the evening. I'm not gonna waste your time with this fight because it went exactly as I said it would, almost, and it was pretty fucking pathetic. As in our co-main event of the evening in the middleweight division, we had Edmen Shahbazyan versus Budka. Edmen smoked him in 95 seconds. Is anyone shocked? Of course not. Not gonna waste time. Edmen by right hook. Dylan rushed in, got clipped by right hook, got dropped, a little bit ground and pound, and it was over. Done. Dusted. Simple as that. Not much to say. Who would have thunk Edmen is levels and levels above Dylan Budka? The dude didn't even shoot a takedown. Fucking moron. I'm not even gonna waste time talking about the fighters. Cut Dylan Budka. And again, this is the Edmen Shahbazyan cycle. Beat a can, lose your next fight. Beat a can, lose your next fight. Beat a can. We've seen this before, man. We know what's gonna happen next, so why are we pretending? Who should be that lucky guy to beat Edmen Shahbazyan? Because we know how Edmen works. Let's look. Would be a fun fight. Kevin Holland would be fun if he wasn't already booked somehow. Jun Young Park, but Park might just fucking cuddle him. Shara, is Shara still ranked? If not, that might be fun. Shara's not ranked anymore. That's interesting. I would like to see Shara and Edmen. I think that's a very funny fight to the UFC's, pun intended, Golden Boys. Chris Curtis, So I like that Shara fight to again to the UFC's Golden Boys who they wanted to succeed. I'd be down to see that. Like, I'm not sure who Shara would fight either, and I think Shara would probably win that fight, so I'm down to see Edmen and Shara. I think that'd be a really good fight. Like, jokes aside on them being like kind of frauds, I would like to see Edmen and Shara. I think that'd be very fucking interesting, so do it. Edmen Shahbazyan and Shara Bullet. Book it. I think that'd be fun. I'm not gonna waste your time with a fight that the UFC literally just handed a guy a win before the fight even started. Easy win for Edmen Shahbazyan, as it should be. Dylan Budka's a fucking joke of a fighter. And who should Edmen fight next? I like him and Shara Bullet. I think that's very fun. I think that could be a really fun fight, so let's do it. Edmen and Shara. Sounds good to me. Book it. Outside of that, not really much else to say. I'm not even gonna say nice one for Edmen, because it was a complete definition of a layup. It should have been my lock of the night in hindsight of how easy it was. But either way, one ginger beat the other, and that is that. Good win for Edmen, I guess. At least knockout wise, it was good. And who should he fight next? I like him and Shara Bullet. I think that'd be very fun. Cut Dylan Budka, and that's all I gotta say about that. Cherry picking at its finest. And now time for our main event of the evening. What a fight we had here. What a comeback we had here. As in our main event of the evening. Staying in a middleweight division. We had a banger to end UFC Vegas 102 as we ended the night with Jared Cannonier versus Gregory Rodrigues. What a fight. What a fight. In round one, Jared got dropped 2 times and almost finished, but he was able to survive and come back in round 2. In round 2, RoboCop looked completely gassed, and Jared just took over. Not a lot happened in round 2, but it was a Jared Cannonier round pretty easily, so 1-1 going into the third, and then in round 3, Jared dropped RoboCop big time late in the pocket, almost finished him, would have finished him if there was more time left in the third, and then it was pretty much over from there. Like, if you watch in between round 3 and 4, Gregory Rodrigues can barely get up, and the fight could have easily been stopped there. It probably should have been because then 21 seconds into round 4, Cannonier just swarmed him and dropped him for the TKO. What a comeback from the Killer Gorilla. Still got it at 40. I can't believe two 40-year-olds won on this card with Cannonier and Angela Hill. That's fucking awesome. What a comeback. What a fucking comeback. And what a way to end the night. Cannonier reminding people in case they forgot. Hell, I'll take my L here. I was wrong. Great job, Cannonier. Like, taking what from who? I know no one's taking that ranking from him anytime soon. Good for Cannonier, man. Hard not to be happy for him. So, it would have sucked to see Cannonier lose 3 in a row, and who knows what would have happened then. So, good for the Killer Gorilla. It's hard not to be happy for him. So, and again, what a comeback. Got dropped twice in round 1 by a guy who he knows that has deadly power. Just to turn around in round 2, 3, and 4 and finish him. Great job by Cannonier, man. Great job. Not really much else to say. Great main event. Fun as expected. We put 2 dudes who are known for knockouts and power and striking, etc. in the main event for 25 minutes. It's not gonna go 25 minutes, and it's gonna be a fun fight. And both of those things happen, so I love to see it. Great fight and great win for the Killer Gorilla. Besides that, not really much else to say about the fight, so let's talk about the fighters real quick. For Cannonier, again, happy to see him get back in a win column in what feels like forever. And, yeah, 40 years old, still going. He's gonna go until he's fucking 50, it seems. So, he's gonna be in the top 10 at middleweight forever. And, good for him. He's still got it. Still got the power, still got the chin, still got the striking. He still got it. Not like he ever lost it, he just started fighting he fought Gabriel, who's a fucking beast. So, he was gonna beat Ismael without that stoppage, so. Yeah. Good for Cannonier, man. Good for Cannonier, and, I'm guessing he's probably gonna get another main event next time out. Oh boy. So, we'll see who that's against. I'll talk about that in a second, so. Yeah. Not really much else to say. Good win for the soon-to-be 41-year-old in a month exactly. 41-year-old Jared Cannonier. To talk about the loser of the main event, Gregory Rodrigues. Very disappointed with his performance, man. Very fucking disappointed. I expected better from him. You gassed after round 1. Like, that's some low-level stuff for a dude who I've seen get knockouts in round 3. Or in your last fight, you went to full 15 and looked really good. So, really disappointed. Really disappointed with RoboCop here. Expected a lot better from him than gassing after 1 round. So, like, he should probably be a light heavyweight, to be honest. Because he has the size. Like, he's a fucking giant, so he probably should be a light heavyweight, but if he wants to keep going out middleweight, cool. Not sure where he goes from here. I think his ceiling has kind of been reached. I don't think he's going to be a top 15 dude. I think his ceiling is probably just having fun fights outside the top 15. Winning some, losing some, and that's probably what his career is going to be for the next couple years, as he is 33. So, he'll probably keep having a few bangers with people until his chin really starts to go, and then we'll see what happens then. So, I'm really disappointed with RoboCop. Again, I really expected better from him than this, but I guess that happens, man, when you're fucking ginormous cutting to middleweight. Guess what's gonna happen. Expected better, man. Expected better. Disappointed and violent Obama. but I am happy for Jared Cannonier, so it's a double-edged sword. Either way, I was going to be happy for the winner and sad for the loser. So, again, a pretty double-edged sword in the end, so whatever. Good main event, happy for Jared, disappointed by RoboCop, and good main event. Now to talk about the elephant in the room that I still don't even know if I have the right answer to. Who the fuck does Jared fight next? The best answer I can give is the winner of Vettori Delgadze in a few weeks. Because outside of that, it's that or Izzy. And I don't know if he should fight Izzy, because I think Izzy should fight the winner of Alan Fluffy next week. So, because if you look at it middleweight, obviously these four are going to be entangled with each other, so that leaves everyone else. Whitaker should fight Khaos, I think that's pretty obvious. Alan's fighting Fluffy, the winner of that should fight Izzy. Vettori's fighting Delgadze, the winner of that should fight Cannonier. So either rematch Marvin Vettori or fight Roman Delgadze, something he's not done before, so I'm down to see it. And part of me actually hopes Delgadze wins then, because I'm more intrigued in Cannonier Delgadze than I am Cannonier Vettori too, so hopefully we get this fight next. I think this would be a very intriguing fight. I'm not really sure who would to win that fight. And yeah, I think that's probably the option. But I could see him doing Jared Izzy too. So, or I could see him having him fight one of these two. But I feel like that'd kind of be dickheadish. After he just did you a favor fighting an unranked guy, why would he fight a guy? Why would he fight two dudes who are pretty much unranked? So, I would say the winner of Delgadze Vettori, but if they want to do Cannonier Izzy too, I'm not gonna complain, because that's a very intriguing fight. So, yeah. Not really much else to say there. And then for RoboCop, he has a bunch of options of fun fights he could have outside the top 15, so we'll see what they do with him and when he does return, hopefully later in the year. So, yeah. Not really much else to say. Great main event. Great comeback for Jared Cannonier. The Killer Gorilla still got it. You're not taking him out yet. You're not putting this gorilla down yet. And, yeah, RoboCop had a malfunction. So, let's just stick to fun fights. No more main events, no more rankings. Let's just have RoboCop have bangers with unranked guys. Nothing about it. All I can say. Who should Cannonier fight next? I'll say the winner of Delgadze Vettori. And outside of that, great main event to end UFC Vegas 102. The Killer Gorilla still got it. Finally, 1 hour and 47 minutes later, I can say, boom. That was the card. To go over how I did on picks, I went 7 of 12, 3 perfect, 4 55. Yeah, I got a few wrong. RoboCop disappointed me. Rodolfo, I don't care. Jesus and Khaos choked. But I did get a few right. I'm happy I got Nazim right. Happy I got Angie right. So I got my lock of the night right. So I'm happy. I didn't do terrible on picks. So could have been worse. Could have been better. Way better than I did last week. So I'll take pretty much a little above 500 on picks. So yeah. The bonuses for the night were 5 of the night to RoboCop and Jared, no shocker. Performance bonuses to Bonfim and Edmen Shahbazyan. I would give a performance bonus to Walker or Delgado, or both, instead of Edmen. I think they deserved it more than Edmen did, but, you know, the UFC fucking loves Edmen Shahbazyan, so they're gonna give him a bonus for KOing a fucking tomato can. So I feel bad for Walker and Delgado. I think they got robbed of a bonus, but whatever. It's the UFC. I think Delgado will have another chance at a bonus. Don't worry. So, yeah. And second to last thing, if you missed a card, what would I say you should go back and rewatch? I would say everything outside of Estevam, Petroski, and what shall not be named. outside that, I rewatch everything. Cavalcanti, Walker, Smith, Bonfim, Hill, Delgado, Nazim, Edmen, and Cannonier. I would rewatch it all. It was all pretty decent. And lastly, who's on the chopping block? Dante Mays is on a hot seat. I don't know if they cut him. Vince Morales is on a hot seat. I don't think they should cut him. Connor Matthews is on a hot seat. I don't know if they cut him. Dylan Budka is for sure cut. So I would say Mays, Morales, Connor, and Budka are definitely. Well, Budka for sure is gone. So it's now, do they cut Mays, Morales, and Connor? We will see. So, yeah, that's about all I gotta say about that. Finally, there's UFC Vegas 102. Again, I thought it was a fine card. I didn't mind it. I don't remember what I said at the beginning of the video, to be honest. I was half asleep at that point. I've actually woken up more throughout the recap, so that's just funny. So I don't remember what I said at the beginning of the recap, but you know, I thought it was a fine card. What, 3 bad fights? I'll take it. Like, a great main event. Nazim and Edmen looked good. Prelims were good from top to bottom. I'm happy. I thought it was a fine night in the Apex. I think it's better than the Dern Hebos card from what I can remember from that card. And I'm happy with it. So, yeah, UFC Vegas 102. A pretty good Apex card, can't really complain. Fun way to spend your Saturday, in my opinion. In my opinion, I enjoyed it, so can't complain. Not gonna complain, gonna praise it, gonna give it its flowers, and move on to the next card, which is UFC Seattle next week, which has sadly fallen apart, but we still have some good fights. We still have the main and co-main with Alan Fluffy and Cejudo Song. Rob Font got a new fight. Gene Silva is still on the card. Alonzo Menafield, Ivo Aslan. There's one really good fight on the card that's like buried in the prelims. I don't remember off the top of my head, but there's a yeah. Sadly, the card did fall apart though. No Steve Garcia. But still got some good fights, and I am very, very excited to see what happens in Seattle next week. And you'll hear what I think happens in Seattle next week, Friday, 1 p.m. EST, as fucking always, as it has been for the last 4 years now or whatever. And then you'll hear me recap the card on Sunday. So, yeah. Not very much else to say. I hope you enjoyed the video. UFC Vegas 102 in the books. I'll see you next week in Seattle. Besides that, not very much more I can think to say. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. 100 subs goal by the end of 2025. And unless I'm forgetting to say something, which I don't believe I am, as always, RX out. Good vibes only. And always.